Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to see about the parameters left in Unit 1, stress, strain and deformation of solids, and then a problem. So, extension or shortening of a bar. So, consider a prismatic bar of length L and cross-sectional area A subjected to an axial force P. So, then we have the relation as sigma is equal to Young's modulus into strain. Upon substitution of strain and sigma in that equation, which is nothing but stress, we get Young's modulus E is equal to P by A whole divided by del L by L. Here P is nothing but the load or force applied. Here is an axial force. Then A is nothing but cross-sectional area. Del L is change in length. Here, if the load is tensile, then increase in length. If the load is in compressive mode, then decrease in length. So we get the equation as E is equal to PL by A del L. So the above equation, that is the equation which I had mentioned here, can be rewritten as del L is equal to PL by AE. So this table gives the values of Young's modulus or modulus of elasticity of some commonly used engineering materials. As we know that mild steel, aluminium, copper, cast iron, bronze, wood are some of the engineering materials widely used in most of the engineering applications. So regarding these engineering materials, these are the Young's modulus value. So for example, mild steel 200 kilonewton per mm square. So if we are asking to written as Newton per mm square, then it will become 2 into 10 power 5 Newton per mm square, like that for all these materials. Next, if the bar is with different cross section, here we can see this image like that. It has, this one is an area 1, area 2, area 3. So this area's dimensions are getting differed, so that the cross section will also be in different. So consider a bar of varying 3 sections of lengths L1, L2, L3 having respective areas of cross section A1, A2 and A3. So when comparing the previous slide, we have del L is equal to PL by AE. Here considering A1 and L1, then the elongation will be del L1 is equal to PL1 by A1E. Since E is for material, Young's modulus of material, so all the materials, all the areas of the materials will be remain same. So E will be common, and then load applied. We had applied one axial load, so this load is same for all these areas also, and so load will also be same. So similarly, for elongation at area 2, del L2 is equal to PL2 by A2E, and similarly del L3 at cross section area 3. So del L1, del L2 and del L3 will be the changes in length of the respective 3 sections of the bar, which means here the load will be axially and also in tensile, which means the length will be getting increased. So the total elongation of the bar will be del L, which is compression of all the 3 elongations, which means summation of all 3 elongations, del L1, del L2 and then del L3, which is equal to PL1 by A1E and similarly cross section area 2 and then cross section area 3. Here we have P by E as a common in all the elongations. Hence it can be taken out as P by E bracket of L1 by A1 plus L2 by A2 plus L3 by A3. On solving this equation, we will be getting the total elongation of this object. Got it? So, bars with continuously varying cross section. Here, the cross section is varying throughout the length. So, here the length of L. The cross section is varying progressively. So, here similarly, P axial tensile load, L length of the bar, E Young's modulus. So, the total elongation will be del L is equal to 4PL by pi E d square. Right? Here, this equation will be obtained from a relation, which means a derivation. So, now for solving the problems, we require only this total extension on continuously varying cross section, on different sections, on varying sections, like that only. Hence, the total elongation for this continuously varying cross sections will be del L is equal to 4PL by pi E d square, right? And then bars with varying rectangular cross section. Previous slide will be a circular section. So now, since diameter is there, which means it's a circular cross section. For rectangular cross section, del L is equal to WL by 2AE. Here W is nothing but axial load P. So P is can be rewritten as W. And then one of the most important topic in this unit, principle of superposition, which is nothing but when a number of loads are acting on a body, the resulting strain according to principle of superposition will be the algebraic sum of strains caused by individual loads. While using this principle for an elastic body which is subjected to a number of direct forces, tensile or compressive. Direct forces includes or normal forces includes tensile as well as compressive. It may be either one of these at different sections along the length of the body. First, the free body diagram of individual section is drawn as we are doing in engineering mechanics first year paper. Then the deformation of each section is obtained. The total deformation of the body will be then equal to the algebraic sum of deformations of the individual sections, as we had seen in the different cross sections del L1, del L2, del L3. So that is an example for this principle of superposition, which is nothing but the algebraic sum of strains by individual loads is calculated individually and then it gets added. So this is an example on this unit stress, strain and deformation in solids. So this problem will combines all these parameters. So this is an example for this unit 1, strength of materials for mechanical engineers. The question is, the following observations were made during a tensile test on mild steel specimen of 40 mm diameter and 200 mm long. Elongation with 40,000 Newton load within the limit of proportionality is equal to 0.0304 mm. Yield load is equal to 165,000 Newton. Maximum load is equal to 245,000 Newton. Length of the specimen at fracture is equal to 252 mm. Determine the yield stress, modulus of elasticity ultimate stress and the percentage of elongation. So this is the question asked, and for this questions now we are going to make the solution. At first we have to do the primary thing is to understand the problem, what all the things they are asked and what are all the things we should primarily do. So first thing is write what are all the data given. So diameter of the specimen is 40 mm, length of the specimen is 200 mm, load 40,000 Newton, elongation within the limit of proportionality is 0.0304 mm. Limit of proportionality is nothing but, so if the stress, what are all the stress we have applied, the strain will be directly proportional. That is the thing, elongation within the limit of proportionality is given. Yield load is 165,000 Newton, maximum load 245,000 Newton, final length of the specimen is 252 mm. The final length is nothing but after applying the load, the deformation takes place and the utmost deformation is 252 mm of length for the given length of 200 mm. So what are the things we have to find out? Yield stress, modulus of elasticity, ultimate stress, and then percentage of elongation. So yield stress. So yield load by area 165,000 by area is nothing but pi by 4 d square for the cylindrical cross section. So pi by 4 diameter will be 40. So 40 square. So on solving this, we will be getting the yield stress is equal to 131.3 Newton per mm square. And for finding the modulus of elasticity, consider the load within the proportionality limit, which is already given in the question itself. Then stress is given by sigma is equal to load by area, and the load is within the proportionality limit. So 40,000 is the load given divided by pi by 4 d square. So on solving this, we will be getting stress is equal to 31.83 Newton per mm square. So strain is nothing but elongation within the proportionality limit is 0.0304 divided by 200. So we will get strain is equal to 0.000152 on solving this. So we had stress and strain. Similarly, from these two parameters, we will be getting the modulus of elasticity, capital letter E, is equal to sigma by strain. That is 31.83 divided by 0.000152. On solving this, we will be getting 2.09 into 10 power 5 Newton per mm square. So I think you all remember that. So 2 into 10 power 5 Newton per mm square is nothing but the value of modulus of elasticity for mild steel material. So to find the ultimate stress, the maximum load by area, as we know that. So the maximum load is given in the question itself, 245,000, and the area is, we had find in the previous slide, pi by 4 d square, pi by 4 into 40 square, which is nothing but 1256.64. So on solving this, we will be getting ultimate stress is equal to 194.96 Newton per mm square. To find the percentage of elongation, this is the last thing that is asked in the question. So using the relation, we have percentage elongation is equal to length of the specimen at failure minus original length divided by original length into 100. Since the percentage is asked, and so multiplied by 100. So 252 is the final length given in the question, minus original length is 200 divided by the original length 200 into 100. So then we are getting 26 percentage, which is nothing but the percentage of the material gets elongated. So from this problem we had find all the parameters like stress, strain, modulus of elasticity, ultimate stress, and then percentage of elongation. So these are, I think, 5 to 6 parameters have been taken care in this single problem. So I think you are getting somewhat idea about stress, strain and deformation in solids. We will see further topics in the strength of materials in the consecutive videos. Thank you.